Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're going back, way back to the Haitian Revolution.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It is. And, it's one of those subjects that we sort of skim over in school.
Yeah, we get like a paragraph and
Exactly. Yeah, and we never really get the full picture.
right.
So you brought us this article from Politics and Rights Review, From
Yes.
Fictions to Lives of the Haitian Revolutionaries
By Marlene Daut.
by Marlene L. Daut. We're not just talking about dates and battles here. We're
Yeah.
really talking about how Haiti shaped our modern understanding of racism, human rights, and really even revolution itself.
And I think what's so interesting about Daut's work is that she approaches it from the perspective of a literary and intellectual historian. So
Interesting.
she actually starts by looking at fictional portrayals of the Haitian Revolution. So like novels, plays, poems even. And she started to notice how these fictional accounts often perpetuated these harmful stereotypes
Yeah.
and actually really skewed how people understood this pivotal event.
It's like those historical movies.
Yes, exactly.
Sometimes they're great, but they don't always give you the whole picture.
Right.
Like when we think about the Holocaust, we might immediately picture Schindler's List.
Mm-hmm.
Or if we're thinking about the slave trade, Amistad might come to mind.
Yeah.
These films are incredibly powerful, but they don't always tell the whole story.
Right. And that's Dalt's point, exactly. Those fictional narratives, while they can be entertaining, can actually be very misleading, especially when we're talking about something as complex and multifaceted as the Haitian Revolution.
Okay, so then where do we go from there? Daut introduces us to this guy, Jean-Louis Vastey,
Oh,
a baron in the Kingdom of Haiti.
yeah.
And let me tell you, this dude was a writing machine.
He was prolific.
11 books in 6 years.
That's amazing.
He was one of the most important voices of his time.
Absolutely. And I think he's really crucial to understanding this period. He is considered one of the pioneers of Black Atlantic humanism.
Black Atlantic humanism.
Oh,
I like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's this school of thought, this tradition of thought that champions anti-racism, anti-slavery, and anti-colonialism.
Wow.
On a global scale, think about figures like Frederick Douglass or Phyllis Wheatley. Their work was deeply influenced by this intellectual movement that Vastey helped to shape.
It's amazing how history is all interconnected.
Yeah.
You know how these ideas travel and inspire generations of thinkers and activists?
It's a conversation.
Yeah, and Dot really gets into this in her book, Awakening the Ashes, where she looks at the writings of these Haitian revolutionaries themselves.
Right.
It's not just about what happened, it's about how they've used their own struggle, their hopes for the future.
Right. And I think that's why it's so important to understand the Haitian Revolution from the perspective of Haitians themselves.
Yeah.
Not from some outside interpretation that might be colored by bias or incomplete information.
Absolutely. And this is where it gets really interesting. Daut highlights this fact that often gets overlooked. Haiti was the first country to permanently abolish slavery,
Mm-hmm.
the slave trade.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
This is the late 18th, early 19th century.
Right.
Slavery was still the norm in so many places.
It was a radical act.
It was.
A bold statement against a system that had been oppressing people for centuries.
And they didn't stop there.
Mm.
They went even further, banning colonialism in their first constitution.
And declaring slavery and the slave trade as crimes against humanity
Wow.
decades before any other nation would do the same.
Hold on. This is going to blow your mind. The terms white supremacy and racism,
Oh, wow.
terms that we use all the time today,
Yeah.
they originated in Haiti.
What?
Jean-Louis Vastey. He coined the term white supremacy in 1814.
Wow.
And then Charles Haro de Mello coined the term racism in 1824.
That's incredible.
It is. It makes
Yeah.
you realize that Haiti's legacy goes way beyond a successful revolution.
Right.
They were pioneers in the fight for human rights and racial justice.
They laid the groundwork.
They did. They laid the groundwork for movements and ideas that we're still grappling with today.
Absolutely.
Their story challenges us to really reconsider how we understand history
Yeah.
and acknowledge those voices that have been overlooked for far too long.
It's a powerful reminder that the past is never really past.
So we've got this incredible story of revolution and resistance and intellectual thought.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the people who led this movement?
Yeah. Who were they?
Yeah.
That's where Daut's upcoming biography of King Henry Christophe comes in.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm so excited about.
Yeah.
But, it's interesting how his story has been told and retold,
Yeah.
often through this lens of fiction that really distorts the reality.
Yeah, it's like we have these puzzle pieces,
Right.
but some of them are missing. We
Exactly.
get these glimpses of Christophe through novels,
Right.
plays, Daut even mentions a comic book.
Yeah.
But how much of that is based on historical fact?
Right. How much of it is embellishment or just complete fabrication?
Exactly. It makes you wonder, how can we ever be sure we're getting the full picture of any historical figure?
It's a challenge for sure for historians and biographers. How do you sift through all those layers of interpretation,
Yeah.
the myth making, sometimes even propaganda to get to the truth of a person's life?
It's like the difference between reading a historical novel and like digging into actual archives.
Yeah.
Reading letters from that time period.
Or marry sources.
Yeah. One might be a good story,
Mm-hmm.
but the other gives you that direct line to the past.
Absolutely.
I remember reading Leo Carpentier's novel, The Kingdom of This World,
Oh, yeah.
which portrays Christophe's reign. It's a really captivating story.
Yeah.
But Daut argues that it's so important to balance those fictional interpretations
Right.
with a deep dive into the hard historical evidence.
Yeah. I mean, fictional accounts can be interesting. They can offer different perspectives, but we have to be really critical readers.
Yeah.
We need to be aware that those accounts often reflect the biases and agendas of the author.
For sure.
And when you're dealing with figures like Christophe, who were both powerful and controversial,
Yeah.
it's even more important to be discerning.
So how do we approach these historical figures then,
Yeah.
like Christophe Lev? Is it about trying to find the good or the bad?
I don't think so.
Or is it something more?
It's more nuanced than that,
Yeah.
I think. It's about understanding them as complex human beings.
Okay.
People who were shaped by their time and their circumstances. They had motivations, they had flaws,
Right.
moments of brilliance and moments of failure.
Yeah.
We need to resist that temptation to simplify history, embrace the messiness, the contradictions, the gray areas.
Like we're trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
Exactly.
If we try to force these historical figures into these neat little categories.
Right. And with Christophe, we're talking about someone who may have been enslaved at birth,
Wow.
separated from his mother,
Uh,
and yet rose to lead a revolution
it's incredible.
and oversaw the construction of the Citadelle La Ferrière,
Oh, yeah.
which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site,
The eighth wonder of the world.
often called that. That's a pretty incredible life story,
No matter how you look at it.
no matter how you look at it. And the Citadel is a testament to his vision
Yeah.
and leadership.
Mm.
It's a symbol of Haitian resilience and determination,
Absolutely.
a physical embodiment of their struggle for freedom.
It makes you think about all the stories out there
Yeah.
just waiting to be uncovered.
All the individual experiences that make up this grand narrative of history.
Right. And with Daut's upcoming biography of Christophe,
Mm-hmm.
it feels like we're getting a chance to dig deeper into one of those stories.
Yeah, to understand this pivotal figure
Yeah.
in Haitian history in a new light.
It's exciting to think about what we might learn
Yeah.
from her research.
How she'll piece together the fragments of his life
Yeah.
and legacy to create this more complete and nuanced portrait.
It's a good reminder that history isn't static.
Right?
It's an ongoing conversation,
Absolutely.
a constant process of re-examining the past,
Mhm.
asking new questions and challenging old assumptions.
Yeah, it's a living thing.
So as we're wrapping up this deep dive into the Haitian Revolution, I keep coming back to this idea of responsibility.
Oh, interesting.
We have access to more information than ever before,
We do.
but how do we make sense of it all?
Yeah, that's a really crucial question, especially now.
Right.
We live in this world where facts and fiction are constantly getting blurred.
It's like we have to be detectives or something.
We
We
do.
have to look at the sources and who's telling the story and what are their motivations. And, sometimes the most important voices are the ones that have been silenced or marginalized.
Exactly. We need to be so aware of our own biases,
Yeah,
the assumptions that we bring to our understanding of the past,
for sure.
and then we have to actively seek out those alternative narratives.
Right. The ones that challenge the mainstream.
Yeah, the Haitian Revolution is a perfect example of this.
How so?
For too long, the narrative has been shaped by outsiders, often overlooking the voices and experiences of Haitians themselves.
And that makes me think about our own role as a journal.
Oh, yeah.
Politics and Rights Review.
Yeah.
We have this responsibility to amplify those marginalized voices.
Absolutely.
To create a platform for different perspectives.
It's not just about publishing articles.
Yeah.
It's about fostering a critical and inclusive dialogue.
It's about challenging those traditional hierarchies of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Recognizing that expertise can come from lived experience
Yes.
as well as from academic credentials.
And the Haitian Revolution is such a powerful lesson in that.
It really is. So as we wrap up our deep dive into the Haitian Revolution, what's that one big takeaway that stands out to you?
I think for me, it's the reminder that Haiti's legacy is so much deeper
Yeah.
and more far-reaching than we often give it credit for.
Hmm.
Their fight for freedom,
Yeah.
their dismantling of slavery, their contributions to the very ideas of human rights and racial justice.
That's huge.
These are foundational principles that continue to shape our world today.
And it challenges us to think differently about power,
Yeah,
about equality, about the very meaning of freedom.
absolutely. And it's a reminder that history is not just a collection of facts and dates.
Right.
It's a living, breathing force that shapes our present and our future.
It does.
Yeah.
And it reminds us to keep questioning those narratives that we've inherited, to seek out those diverse perspectives.
Yeah, and to recognize the interconnectedness of our struggles for justice and equality.
Well said. Well, on that note,
Yeah.
we want to thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the Haitian Revolution. We hope this conversation has sparked your curiosity and inspired you to learn more.
If you're interested in digging deeper, we highly recommend checking out Marlene Daud's work,
Yes.
especially her book Awakening the Ashes
Yeah.
and her upcoming biography of King Henry Christophe.
And as always, we invite you to share your thoughts and questions with us. We're always eager to continue the conversation. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.
See ya!